Hi again. In this tutorial I will introduce to the solar cells. And as you can see, I've listed up all the different cells that we go through, which is in the table about solar cells. We will jump to the program, and here we have the table about solar cells. And what you can, if you don't have it active, you probably don't, then you need to click on solar cells and then right click and then add solar cells. And then you get the table. First you have to give it a good name, and you can maybe use the producer or the factory that makes the solar cells here. Then we have how many square meters of solar cells we need, and we'll wait with that because that's according to the result of the energy frame. Here we have the peak power, and the peak power is how good the solar cells is to produce energy. And you can see that on the data sheet for the solar cells. We will just jump to a data sheet so you can see it, because that's what we have here. Here we have the peak power, and you can see this is not in kilowatt. So what we need to do is we need to divide it by 1,000, and then when we have divided by 1,000, then we have kilowatt peak, and then we divide it by the dimension of the solar cell. And in this case it gives 0.14, but normally it's around 0.15, so that's what you can use in your project as well. Then we have this here, the system efficiency, and the system efficiency about the inverter that converts the energy getting from the solar cells into energy that we can use in the building. And these are really efficient, and you get them up to 98% of the energy that we are able to be inverted into energy that we can use in the building. But we use 0.95, a little bit less, because that's common. Then we have to where the solar cells is placed, to which orientation they have. And there you can use the same as the windows. We have 8 different corners, and the best is of course to the south. So if you have that, then you write S. Then we have the slope of the solar cells, and the slope of the solar cells is normally the same slope as you have on the roof, but the best slope you can have on solar cells is 38 degrees. And here this is the same as windows. If we have any shadow coming on the solar cell from the horizon, or if we have something in the house from left and right side that gives a shadow, then we need to put that in here. Then about how many square meters we need. Also, before we move on, we need to make sure that we have solar cell active on the front page. So we go up to the front page here, and then we need to tick on this, because otherwise all what we put into the program is not used. But then we go down to the key numbers, and what's important is to look here, L for operation of the building. So that's the energy we use to operate the building. This should be 0, that would be good for us, but we allow to subtract 25 kilowatt hour per square meter per year from this number. That's how much energy we allowed to get from the solar cells. But it's not very good to produce more energy for the solar cells than this get to 0, because that means the extra we need to sell to the net, and that's not the money worth. So what I would try is, of course, to meet the regulations, because I'm not meeting BE15's regulation right now. So what I will do is I'll go to the solar cell and say maybe I need 3 square meters. And then you can see I meet the regulations for BE15, and I produce a little too much, but it's not that much, because if I only added 2 square meters, not a lot, then you can see I'm not meeting a regulation, and I'm not down to 0 here either. So 3 square meters is good. But But maybe I also want to meet the regulations for BE15, and then I need to produce even more energy. So there I need to go up to raise it to 7 square meters. And then I'm also meeting this. That means I'm producing even more. I need to sell energy to the net. And that's not worth the money, but still I'm meeting regulation, and that might be good for me. BE20. So this is how you can play with a solar cell if you can't meet the regulations without solar cells, then you can try and do it with solar cells. Try and play with it for the assignment and see how you're getting. See you soon.